Me did young antechua, and maybe I'm discovered for you, Pacuma Busia for Ghana. No, me used to tap send, tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Aye easy, aye convenient, aye fast, and sounds so ye free. Won't ya she? Me discover ye mapim. Tap send. Intienne, also download the tap send app no ever mobile phone so free. Nefesi kakomu Busia for Ghana for na. Tap send. Papa no.
Everybody check now. Check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. Check it. Green select glucometer. Check it. Put sugar level for check it. Check it. Reselect glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
When it comes to event production in Ghana, you drew level ben. Andrew, that's my first question. Event production in Ghana, level ben na you drew compared to what you have been traveling to see. So I want you to compare it to the world standard. Not really you drew Ghana, now you can't Ghana there. Because I know you have been part of so many big events outside of Ghana, South Africa, else here. Level ben you drew Ghana.
Okay, so if we talk about level like you do or Ghana, I would say we are about 60 to 70%.
Oh, and I say I had it.
Yeah. Wow. We are about 60 to 70%. You do what yet? We are not 80, 90, 100. We are not there because of the resources that we have. If I say resources, if you look at the things that we have in Ghana and the resources outside, it's difficult to achieve certain things that we see outside. The reason being that investing into equipment and all these things, they are individual people who are doing that. So everybody have their own interest. And events that happen in Ghana, I wouldn't invest, let's say, $500,000 or maybe $1 million into an equipment logistics that will be rented maybe twice in a year. I won't do that. So I rather invest, let's say, 100,000 into some equipment that will be rented every day. So you do, but gradually with this December events and all those things, we'll get there one day. So kakra, I'm sure we'll get there.
Okay, 60%, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, logistics nanga sa modi production. And also be a more percentage be na you will be Ghana.
And what am I catching?
And also she be.
I know 60-70%. Yes.
Okay.
You see, let me take it from stage, light, sound, and all that. Now, if I want to invest into a sound, okay, let me come from this direction.
Yeah.
I've been part of a lot of international shows from way back, and I have international riders that is in my email, and I've provided stuff for. Now, when you look at the things that they demand till now, not a single company has that
in Ghana.
I would say the person that comes close to it will be Silicon House. Yeah. Now that's an individual. They have things that can supply everything in terms of a rider. But when it comes to me, let's say WAP, Control Light, Rhythms Africa, Sammy, all those people, it becomes difficult because, you see, even though I'm making profit, I cannot still pick my capital and invest into something that will not come immediately. So I need to invest into something that is okay, that I can do whatever I can do with it and still make some money on the side. So when you talk equipment, when I'm going into, let's say, DMB equipment, Mayor Sound.
What is DMB?
It's a type of speaker,
okay.
like speakers. DMB, JBL, early acoustics, and all those things. Those are top of the line equipment. So if I'm going for CL3, CL5s like Yamaha, mixers, Midas, all those things, they are expensive. So when am I going to get an international show who is demanding all these things so that I can make my money back? And how long is it going to take? So rather, I'll buy a Soundcraft somewhere, a Behringer somewhere that I can use for the job. So that one meet me the conference or China, meet me, and mind you, let's say I'll go and buy a Mayor speaker or let's say DMB and Uber and Tim and Amikaso, I'll charge you $20,000 per gig. Because conference pen you understand, it's too expensive. But when you look at the equipment that you've bought and what you're going to use with it, you cannot afford to undercharge.
Okay.
Let me give you a clear scenario. Gear House, they were in Ghana. They've closed down. Why? It's because of this same.
They were also logistics providers.
Yes. Gear House is big in South Africa. One of the biggest.
So they came to set up here in Ghana.
Yes, one of the biggest companies in South Africa. But when they came to Ghana, they realized that the way they even cost their staff, we were not used to that. And the costing that they give, they can cost you and cost for insurance and all those things, but we don't do that. Into invoice now.
Insurance for the gadgets.
Yes, and even the events that they are doing, and it's a standard thing we need to do. No. Okay, so let me give you another scenario with Black Star Line. There was an insurance company who insured equipment, artists, and everything on the event.
Black Star Line. That's
Yes,
a very
that's the
major
chance
last event.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was an insurance company who did that. So
Insured all gadgets,
everything,
including the artists who perform.
correct. So anything that happens on the event is insured. But kwakobo kwewu anase a year, you don't care about insurance. But why? I'm asking why.
Because ascendancy.
How do you know say assemblies? So imagine, let me give you a scenario. Medical event be.
Yeah.
Bibi bo obiswana something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Was there an insurance? If there was an insurance, it would have taken care of that.
I hear the guy is still even in the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was an event in South Africa with the past president on it, where they were sitting on the days and the days collapsed. And there is a woman who was part of that entourage. She is paralyzed till now. And that was what changed the industry in South Africa. So when they are doing such stuff, you need to make sure that you at least get some kind of certification. You get a civil engineer or a structural engineer to certify that this thing that you are doing is well done and all those things. And they will sign. And until they sign, nobody can be on that stage. But here we don't do that. We did Shaggy in, I think, 207 or 27. I'm not too sure of the date, but let me give you that. When Shaggy came, we did a stage and everything, and MTN was sponsoring. They said, South Africans came, they were like, we should get a civil engineer and all those things to come and certify that the stage is strong. Because that time, the modern stage that we have, so we're using a mid-shift stage. We got a civil engineer, he came, we're having a meeting at trade fair, he was on the stage, we were talking, we were having a meeting and all those things. Then he was like, he came to me and was like, and I'm saying, you are here to be part of the meeting to certify that the stage and everything is okay before. He was like, yeah, Bamucho, me we ye be cold. Wow, I need to go.
Ghana's the engineer.
And I was like, me we ye be cold. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't call you. They called you to come. He said, yeah, but I didn't want to say, he was
signing.
He was like, and before I could say Jack, the man was gone. He didn't understand the fact that entertainment people will call him to come and be there, and something that we've done several times and nothing has happened. Like the same thing you answered. He was gone. He was gone. He stood, he held the stage, shook it. Say, Charlie, and he left. But you see, that shouldn't be the case. There should be some standards where you come, you check the thing, so you sign off. And when you sign off, you are the person who will be held responsible for it. And if you say, this event cannot come on because of this, that.
That's what we're making.
Yes. Afrochella, we had a structural rigger who was there, and he will look at this and say, this thing that you've done, it can break, and I'm not signing it off. And truly, you cannot go up, because if he has not signed it off, when you go and anything happens, it's on your head. And if you build a stage or you build a truss and roof and anything happens to it, it's on your head. The company, your company is going to be the person who will suffer for it. Okay. So you make sure that you do all the structural procedures that will make sure that say in show start to say tokrana iframa, everybody will disperse, but your stage should be standing. And there is one thing that but it is one fundamental key in this whole thing. We did what event was it? Taste of Ghana. And we thought everything was okay. We requested for a tent backstage for like an office. The following day when we came, the tent was at the other side of the stage, because in Frama Masuko. Yeah. So imagine say Uncle B wom and also be ho and all year Jumana in Frama boy. We didn't envisage that. But we thought, oh, okay, BNC. But it happens. So it's very key in this whole thing.
Wow, beautiful conversation, beautiful knowledge shared here on CTV Classroom. Now, I have some two videos that maybe say this are Nabil on them. Yata video number 1. Then you be home, so you guys can start rolling now. Start rolling video number 1 for me, and I'm going to exhibit number 1. Start rolling exhibit number 1, and may own commentary, so don't give me sound on tape. Start rolling. I want to do okay. So Nabil, event today winning.
This is Black Star Line.
Black Star Line.
Yeah.
Enti Sienfa say ye hwe ne ma mo de yes set up we nyina.
Yeah.
Mo de bi fra brochire be kan wo Ghana.
There we.
Ene ma mo de nyina okromo ya. Na aya abrofo na during the show, aya mo na mo nom kitakita walkie-talkie na sending now I am moving young bedding. Okay,
so let me say, if you are an artist and you are coming to Ghana, I'm sure you bring people to your interest. Say, there's no way, say, if you are an artist, you just pick your bag and say, me bag Ghana iti, monye mon seti akoma me na me be perform. You bring people like in your studio. You have people who are doing lighting, people who are doing directing and all those things from your side. So that's what they do. When they are coming, they bring project manager, events manager, accountant, wherever, people who pay.
The artist na idea.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so the artist is coming, and sometimes the artist will not even come. Let's say if the event is on the...
Okay, so let me ask this. Now the more video no freezing. Mama ne mo na me say bisa one question the bread na. Mama ko ejina ni. Ono so say no one any. Coffee. Okay. So my question is that mo enema na wa nyina mo say mo dia wa Ghana.
I Ghana for there.
It no wa February
and not necessarily say omoba be fahama say omo dey bob bi mu ana no but they are like the supervisory role yeah, so they check what you are doing and make sure that what you said you are charging for is what you are providing.
I see. Yeah. How many days did you guys use in setting up the Black Star line?
I'll say 5 days for this one.
5 days?
Yes, but it took us more than 5 days for Afrochala. Afrochala was about almost 2 weeks. Yeah.
In the event na yen be say Evans 10 hours be if you got 10 hours grade no. Even in be 10 hours be no. You guys spent 5 days to do setup alone.
Yeah. We moved in on the 1st and the event was on the 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally you need a lot of days to do your setup because at stage when you move in, you do your staging and everything, you take it. You see, people don't really understand the business in our industry. Moving in is part of the setup. It's a whole day affair because call warehouse above venue. It's not just one day. Because you didn't money be go out, but corner was a cosasania manaba. No, Mukosasa, no, you go canum, no more banana be yegu. It's not a day's job. It's a whole day's job. Until you can take a full day to bring all your equipment to the venue. And it's not like when you bring it to the venue, now we'll start it. The next day you come and start setting up. It can take the whole day. Because you see, oh yeah, Jumana, we'll be breaking, we'll be having lunch. And I say, get some drinks and everything, you continue. If there is light, fine, you continue. But also you should understand that when Adiasa, you need to let your people go and rest and come and continue. But because you can say, oh, full night, that means your people will be tired.
Yeah, break it down.
Correct. You have to have a schedule. Then the schedule will tell you that, okay, when I do this, so it doesn't take that, it's not that easy. Let me give you a scenario also. With Greater Works, when we are doing Greater Works, we start, let's say if the event is on the 30th, let me use 30th. We start on the 1st. 30 days ahead. Because if you look at the size of the stage, I will use maybe 5 days to 7 days to set up. Lighting will come in before they put their lighting and everything. They do their dress and all those things. It took them 3 or 4 days before we go up. Because when we go up, we are not coming down. Before sound will come in.
Yeah,
and the cost I ain't even back from because sound in the also will start setting up on stage because back from it will affect sound. Into light, I was a light here BBI and sana ya cost into your cost there is no coming down. And sana sound about sound by that's the second week. The third week will be for rehearsal. Rehearsal is which choir is coming in, who is coming at this time and all those things. Before the 4th week, which is the main event, which is 1 week.
Yeah.
So it takes you a month to be at the venue. You understand? So the dynamics is serious. And now you take another 3 or 4 days to tear down. Yeah.
So your fans say Black Star Line say more 5 days setting up no. How many days now?
It took about 2 or 3 days to tear down. Because you come down when we finish, you let sound people clear the stage, which is their backline and everything. You come down, then lights will take their stuff off before you yourself will start taking roof, trusses and stage and everything. And when you finish, you need to make sure that you clean the space for the venue owner. Then you leave the space.
I see.
So it takes you 3 or 4 days to clear.
I see. So what it means that as it stands now in Ghana, we have men who can do any event of its size.
Yes.
Free. But Afro Nation, I saw some white people also part of.
Okay, so Afro Nation it is not a Ghanaian, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It's not a Ghanaian
fully
production.
owned production.
It's half and half. So you have Afro Nation, they do in Portugal and all those things. They have an interest in that. So when they are coming to do these things, they bring their people to make sure that the kind of standard there they want to get. Okay. That's what they are getting. Okay. Yeah. So
let me also take you to Liberia, and Jata, you guys can roll the Liberia production event factory for Koye. Mukoye big event for Liberia stadium.
Yeah.
And no more than money free Ghana ha and a coin.
Aye.
It's Ghana for yes, you want to be
so
Jata, no, take me to Liberia. I want to see the Liberia video. I beg you. The Liberia stadium video. This is Rapaholic. No, I don't want to see Rapaholic. Ever. Monko, Liberia. Yeah. Monko, I want to see Liberia because my name is Ghana. So it means supply will be. I said the Enya power baby na. Yeah, the man for no. That is so beautiful. What the money free and a coin?
So
what if I plane? What if I pursue? What if I?
Okay, so Liberia we went by the production crew went by road, by air. Then the equipment went by road. So with Liberia,
you were a lot of coin free hack car Liberia.
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah.
So even that time, because of COVID, we didn't use a Lubo. We had to use there was a border in Sonyani somewhere, wrong a half. So we used that side, then descended down.
Oh, so you can drive to Liberia?
Yeah. So we took actually sound, screen, stage, trussing, panels, even prints, flags, like whatever you can think of about the event, generators, everything. We took it from Ghana to Liberia because they didn't have the kind of equipment that we wanted to use for the event. They didn't have it. So we needed to transport everything from Ghana to Liberia.
So such a show, no? Omo the catcher say near pay, and on the catcher just the type of event they want to do. Then you suggest to them that okay, we need this, we need this, we need that.
Okay. So the Liberia event was a
big... guys, I saw you playing the video. Mumo BMKK. Video be another soldier for be matching. That's what I'm requesting.
Yeah, Liberia's event was a big event. The bicentennial event was 200 years of Liberia's people returning from America to Liberia. So it was a big event. So we needed to do like a Deba kind of. Then the Deba had people from America giving speeches, the president, other presidents from African countries and all that. Then after that, we climaxed it with an event. We had P Square on it. And also had the Liberian artists and all those all-stars and all that. So it was a big deal. It was a big deal. And
how did you get such a contract? Because you are living in Ghana and a big event in Liberia.
Okay,
a Ghanaian was called, not a South African or a Nigerian.
This event came on the ticket of Silicon House Production. And I am an affiliate of Silicon House Production. So when the event came, I'm like a production manager for that. So I was called and said, the discussion was like, okay, what can we do to get these things there? So we discussed all that with the pre-production. Okay, we need to take this, we need to take that, we need to take that, we need to take that. And we facilitated that. And the Liberian government was part of this thing. So they also facilitated border control, making sure that when you get to every border, they clear you go, and all that till they got to Liberia.
So how many days did you guys drive from Ghana to Liberia?
It was about 7 days.
Wow. That's one clear week.
Yeah, it was about 7 days.
Mechanic was
so it was serious. So you need to get security on board because you are traveling with all these things. We actually took an OB van. There was an OB van on the track. So you have generator, OB van, stage, screen, lights, sound.
How many tracks now? It's me 5.
About 6 tracks.
And this is
with the crew, like for 7 days. So they left earlier. Then we, the production guys, also left. So we spent about 2 weeks in Liberia. Because when we left 2 days or a day and a car no should be drew. Immediately they got to Liberia, straight to the stadium. We started setting up. We set up and everything, rehearsal and all those things. Then the event itself. Yeah, we tear down the following 2 days.
You know,
yeah.
I see. Beautiful conversation. Now, ukuna now boy yesterday you might be the abebre. Cause odumwa unyama but it is so interesting. Now, you're gonna muye. Me who said sako de no. Na eno sumida. Afi mama Liberia na mo sako de. Me producer Santa ultima mi dwaro. Ade ama me who say mo bo na mo bi ma mo twa mo here. Okay, mo fa no ntonche. Mo sako de no. Mo sako de na. What has been the discussion with artists omo events and more logistics providers?
Okay.
Some community saying monyomu wo partnership be here. Ana sack the sack when they set up in their customer once again event factory and jumano omutuamo straight everyone meje 500,000 meje 200,000 and I say there is partnership artists big back offices here between us signing then you guys start doing deals.
Okay, so with Rapaholic it was let me put on record what we started with Rapaholic is different from what I don't know what others do, but it was me, Bulldog. There's a guy called Ken. That when Sarkodie wanted to do his album launch, which is Rapaholic, we went to them and we were like, "Listen, where do you want to do this event?" No, obviously they wanted to do his Bacardi's in Tema, and we were like, "No, let's take it to the conference center." And the conference center, we wanted to do it at the Dome. They were a bit skeptical about it, but we were like, no, we believe that this thing will work. And we took it to the Dome and it was a hit. Even though we lost in terms of monetary aspect, because we had our own challenges at the venue at the time. But fast forward, Rapaholic is the most successful, let's say, event as we speak. Now, it's a partnership between us. Okay, Event Factory started it with Success Music, but it got to a point where I brought in some partners, Big Ideas, Control Light, Rhythms Africa. We formed the team A, and we were like, okay, we as one entity will do it with Success Music. So nobody pays anything. Success Music, you come as an artist, and we as team A also come as a technical providers. We do the setup for you. You come and do your act. Then when we finish, we split. So that's what is for Rapaholic. So it's not like we pay the artist to do anything. The artist, it's the artist event. It is not. We don't directly benefit in terms of when you see it outside there, because we are trying to push the artist. But it's a partnership that it's a win-win situation. So we push the artist, but when we finish, we sit down at the table and say, okay, you need 10 CDs, 550. Also, whatever artist that came on your side, you can decide whether to pay them or whatever.
So as 18, what is your percentage?
No, that is for the gods to decide.
The gods, all this alone.
Yeah.
Are you guys open for more of such? And now say because of artists, you guys are limited to Sarkodie.
No, not that. There's been a situation where we've approached some few artists, and we want to do such partnerships, but they don't see the vision. Yeah, there is a popular artist that I discussed with my team, and I was like, I think this artist can give us, or can give himself some class by doing this, by doing that. We did a proposal and everything. We called the artist manager. You say, oh, we'll meet today. We'll call you and say, oh, let's meet on Friday. We'll call you and say, long and short, it didn't happen, and we left it. You know, sometimes it's not about the money. Yeah. Sometimes you feel that you also want to grow the industry in a certain way that when people are coming into Ghana and they look at what we are doing here, they will be like, oh, I think the industry is growing to a certain point where the Rapaholic, and I'll say it on record, Rapaholic is the first event for a hip life artist in Ghana that decided to do an event for himself before everybody followed suit. Nobody was doing any event for like an artist or because me event on the so and so. No event. And if anybody wants to challenge, they should bring the records. It was just Sarkodie when we approached him and we started Rapaholic. That's where now everybody do their own event every time. You understand?
So it's on record that Sarkodie is the artist who started his
Correct.
own event
Yes.
in Ghana.
And that time Sarkodie had only one album. The next one
Hip
was
Life Artist.
Hip Life Artist.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the high life and Amachi Dede. No, I'm talking about hip life artists, the new generation.
Okay.
You understand? At that time, Sarkodie had only one album. The second album was a Rapaholic, and he had such an event. It was a risk. Do you understand? It was a risk, but it worked. So what I say, and now all the artists are benefiting. Today you have Promised Land, you have Deben, this guy, what's his name? Yeah, Shaman to the world. Like he paved the way. Because if Anka those times Uncle Shuro said, hey, Charlie, I did and foul, and that time that was the sentiment. It was like, hey, rapping, we are sure say I did before. But we believed that at the time the buzz that was around Sarkodie, it was going to work.
Let me ask this, Nabil. There is something we always want to see here in Ghana. Say the artist Becca said, me ba be regional tour.
Yeah.
Just like you are saying, artist na kasa nyeti promoter bi ene ba betu ene bibi. And I expect to say about the team A and the A team. So me ba be regional tour. I want to play all the 16 regions of Ghana. Commercial events. Are you guys game? Say more yet technical production man or also the artist ever to perform. Would you guys do that? Because as it stands now, no artist has been able to say my bob tour in Ghana.
It's a yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because when we sit down and we look at the permutations and the dynamics and we see that it's viable, we'll do it. Me, I like traveling in terms of going to the regions to do events and all those things. Listen, when you go to the regions, you learn a lot. And also you learn how the demography and all those things in terms of entertainment is. So me, I'm game for that. But also, you ask yourself, the kind of budget that I would do for such an event, is it going to be worth it? Because Accra will be okay, Kumasi will be okay, Takrady will be okay, Tamale will be okay, Kofodia will be okay, but who will be okay? This thing will be okay? Will be. So you look at all these dynamics.
Will be better than Kofodia.
Are you sure?
We know.
You know, you look at. Oh, I see. Say you like who? You look at all the dynamics and but it's something that we need. It's something that we need. I won't lie to you, because you need to go to all the 16 regions to cement your credibility as an artist. You understand? So you say, I've been to all the 16 regions and I am on top there. That's how it's supposed to be. And also, you should understand that what I will use in Accra will not be the same thing that I will use in Ahafo region, or Bronx, or Tamale, or you downsize it a little bit. So you do all those researches, and now you can know how you move to all these regions and all that. But it's something that we should do, because honestly, our entertainment industry will be very vibrant. Because in the Sarkodie or Tamale, Machina, D Black or another week, Stone Boy or another week, Shatawale or. Do you know the kind of the generation of money that is going to bring? hotels will be booked, bars will be filled, people will sell, you know, and it's a every month. In Japan, say even 12 weeks, 12 months now a year. Japan say every month, if one big artist in all these various regions and is recycling and all that, do you know how much we will generate for this economy? You know, but we also need support in terms of sponsorship, in terms of government support and all that, because doing all these things, it is a form of entertainment. It's a form of imagine say Shatawali Tamale July Saturday September Stoneboy November every time there will be some form of excitement and all that, you know. There will not be any. Correct. Nobody. So they don't look at the other side of entertainment. I mean the government. They are not looking at that side. But when you have a dormant space where nothing is happening and all that thing, do you understand?
Yeah.
So it is something that they need to look at, something that they need to invest in. When you go to the foreign land where people are doing tours and all those things, it is not because it is part of the system for you to go there, make sure that
artists can come for such discussions with you.
Yeah, sure.
What has been the level of risk in terms of injuries to your kind of job?
Okay, I'll go back to what you said, BBNC. But you still need to make sure that your safety measures are done properly. So injuries, there are a lot of risk factors when it comes to our job. A stage can collapse. There are videos that you see Nanado on a stage and collapse. Yeah. So the stage can collapse, the trusses can fall down. There's been an event, there was an event at the stadium for, I think, an Indian community where the trusses fell on an old woman and they need to fly her outside for medication, medical, all these things, you know. So when you're doing an event, you have to make sure that your safety measures are on point. If you are doing stuff with fire and all those things, you need to make sure that your fire extinguishers, fire service is available. There is an ambulance, there is this, there is that. All those things you need to make sure they are there. But you jinamidi too much. Yeah. You jinamidi say we believe that nothing will happen. But sometimes it's just okay, or it's just proper for you to go just an extra mile to make sure, say, there are some things that will take care of. Even if it is first aid, it is okay. Yeah. Because unim the ABC. You can come to an event and maybe you'll be in front of the stage. But you just go out of breath.
Yeah.
Within that time, is there any first aid that is going to take care of that? At least make provision for that. Even if there is no ambulance or something, just make provision for a first aid so that if anything happens, the person can. Yeah, but with us, you make sure that there is some form of security in terms of safety and all those things. Me, with Event Factory, I take my staff to South Africa to make sure that they go and learn safety measures that when they put up.
Which event is this? The one on the screen?
This is GT concert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The one they did at the stadium for Stoneboy and the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see the structure. With this structure, you need to make sure that all safety measures are checked. Because with this, the truss and the crane was hanging on top of the artist. So imagine, CBB this year, whoever is on the stage, it's grounded. So your safety has to be on point. You know. So this is.
Was this a 360? was this event a 360 kind of feel?
Yeah.
What was a 360?
Yes.
Okay.
So with this, you have the screens. You see how it was hanging. You have the screens on there and every angle of it. So wherever you are, and even with this, we didn't achieve exactly what we wanted to achieve because the setup was so cumbersome that we had no time. Okay. So we needed to cut down on the number of screens that we needed to achieve. Okay. So we did, I think, 3 layers and we stopped because the event needed to happen. Yeah.
I see. Okay, Sammy Rasta, Mr. No, Mumi said, I come to be enough a first segment in Mary. Yeah, I think that's so far enough education, but I can't be question to be not.
Rasta, I think my born producers about so. These are some of the things that we don't really discuss when you check the cycle of entertainment now. Everything is focused on the artists and show no course then we only talking about the artists. So my ball producer also, and we should be doing more of this.
Okay.
I didn't person who if you as you talk of how people will want to invest into this kind of gadgets. A bit more with the kind of charger. Maybe you rent it out for an event. The person who said you see charge like the gate proceeds now a costume. And no na yen charge kesi wo Ghana emma sikanti mimba when it comes of in terms of production now. Because if you are taking $20,000 from me, now be yet that international for me SM so major sika. You see rates in terms of rates, no say now who the standard in Ghana you were lower and I say you were higher a bit me meet the standard a bit more to me.
Solid question.
I begin up.
Okay, so I like your question, and I it's a big issue. The big issue is that you were very low. You're very low in terms of what we charge for events, because Ghanaians, we don't have the culture of attending events. We don't have the culture. I make the analysis of how we attend events even in Accra, always to my team, and I'm like, if I'm doing an event at the conference center, which takes about 1,500, or let's say 2,000, we have about, let's say 3 million people in Accra. 10% here.
That's 30,000.
30,000.
Yeah.
1% here.
1% here.
1% of 3
million.
3 million. 10% here. 300,000.
Yeah.
And
1% here.
3,000.
3,000. 0.1%. There be 1%. 1% here. 30,000.
30,000. Yes.
0.1% here.
and
3,000.
So that is the.
So if I'm doing an event in Accra, 0.1% should be able to fill my space, or 0.05% should be able to fill my space, which is 1,500. But ubaya advert, TV so, ubaya radio, ubaya billboard, ubaya social media, ubaya the place will not be filled. I went to an event, Cape Town Jazz Festival. When I got there, when I got
in
to
South Africa.
In South Africa, when I got to Joburg, I couldn't get a flight to Cape Town. Why? Because all the flights were booked. Hotels were booked. So by some miracle, and I'm in a flight and I'm calling. But me calling a week to the event. The first year that I went, it was 17,000 people filled. Tickets were sold out. The second year that I went, it was 35,000 people. Yeah, 35,000 people, and the tickets were sold out a week before. Into Ubeko venue on and they above venue on say sold out. Now, Me as an event organizer, if my tickets are sold out a week before the event, the pressure is on me to deliver.
Yeah.
You get me? Because I have 35,000 people to take care of, and their expectations are high. So now the expectation of me is to deliver a standard that 35,000 people will enjoy. But in Ghana, even on the day of the event, people will be calling you, say, many tickets were gate. That's the culture for events in Ghana is zero. So if I have an artist, let's say, let me use Sarkodie, that I'm comfortable with. If Sarkodie is charging me, let's say, 500,000 Ghana cedis, I'm going to take sound, light, stage design, media, and all those things. If you can say another 200, another 300, but the Kanwa, that's 800, with all supporting artists and all that. Now, do your calculation. So me charge 200 Ghana cedis times 1,005. Yeah. No, I can calculate for you. So let's say, so 200 Ghana cedis times 1,500. That's 300,000. Must spend 800,000. How am I going to get my money? Now, let's say I'm charging 500 Ghana cedis times 1,500. That's 750. How many people will pay 500,000 for an event? They won't. They won't. So it's difficult in Ghana to do an event and charge an amount opese udinya usika back. So when you don't get sponsorship, when you don't get favors, when you don't get all these things, comedy event. We've done Easter comedy for 8 years. We've never made profit. You've been part of this. You understand? We've never made profit. Why? Because we bring comedians from Nigeria, we add Ghanaians, we add artists and all those things. Now Waboka, because the amount that you've spent, what charge 300 and 400 crap? They will say it's too high. Even the 50 Ghana and the 70 Ghana krana will charge, almost say it's too high. So how do you get your money back? So we decided to put it on the shelves. Now, these same people will come and say, hey, it's been a long time. But if you bring it back, would they pay? No. So to answer your question, it's difficult to break. See, it's this December event, Nama, big artists are coming to Ghana. Like your friend is saying, Chance the Rapper, Bill, and all those things. But you see, if we want to bring Jay-Z, you better me the number. If we want to bring whoever, we can bring the person. But how much are you going to charge to make your money back? So as an event person, you'll be like, listen, my main keeping me sicker. I mean, maybe for yeah. Than to go and invest into something that you are not too sure whether you are getting it back or not.
Mr. Na, come through.
Charlie, it's been a serious education. I mean, a very eye-opening conversation. And what do you think we can do to inculcate that culture of going for events in the Ghanaians? Before you answer that, what has brought the problem, and what can we do to solve it, in your estimation?
You see, the problem is support. One, when I take Ghana Music Awards, it's an event that Charterhouse does, but I don't see the involvement of Ghana so much. I don't know. But I can.
Involvement of Ghana?
Yes.
You mean government?
Yes. So, why am I saying
but
that?
But there's an individual company.
It doesn't matter. I go to
matters.
No, I go to
what I do at my company here at CMG.
You know
what is government?
You can Google it. There is an event in South Africa called SAMMYs, which is South African Music Awards. The municipalities and regions fight for that event
to host it.
So
no,
Meba, So
Your Mopana Fest.
Cape Town is fighting for it. Joburg is fighting for it. Durban is fighting for it. Everybody is fighting for it. Now, if Cape Town comes with a proposal, Cape Town will be like, I'll give you 3 million rands to bring Sammers to Cape Town. I'll give you the hall, I'll give you this. Now, every artist in South Africa will be in Cape Town. Everybody that wants to attend Summers will be in Cape Town. Do you know how much revenue that is going to bring to Cape Town? Food, transport, hotels. This Ghana, December in Ghana thing that we are doing, has anybody, any statistical service come to tell you how much it has generated for Ghana? No.
Yeah.
But unimska ediaba krumha, you have no idea. So if Yemfan say government decide to put $1 million into the industry, do you know how much they will generate out of that $1 million? So if tomorrow Ghana Music Awards, you can say, okay, yeah, mamu, 2 million Ghana cedis, mufanko kumasi, unko kumasi, unko kumasi, sakodi unko kumasi, sefan unko kumasi, di black unko kumasi. Hotels in Kumasi will be booked. Omundi, unko di fufu.
Afternoon.
No, yes.
Kumasi, yes.
And people will post stuff. I'm in Kumasi, I'm eating fufu, I'm eating the mewakejetia, mewase. Now their attention will be in Kumasi. So now when I'm coming from abroad, me who be Kumasi, inti na me pesa me ko Kumasi. And that's how it generates stuff for people to go. We see it as amukoye concert but no. Charter House by pre-event. Yeah. The pre-event, people will go there, people will spend, people that say I don't go there sponsor. The number of people who will drink. There's been an event where people drink. I don't go away. They say people they collapse. So you imagine, see, the generation. It is not easy. And these are the things that we forget and we close our eyes on. But Ubeko Godin to Lebeka say hotels are booked. Ubeko has say hotels are marked. Debeka say hotels are booked. It's because the center of attraction now is in Kumasi. Pundits are there, bloggers are there, artists are there, artist managers are there, industry people are there. Events, your friend say, award presenters are there, award recipients are there, international media is there. So, listen, it's a broad scope. So, if Sammy says they are going to Cape Town, they give them money to project what is in. So, Oma Miska, Ukoye Ghana Music Awards, Kumasi. I can tell you, I'm giving you 3 million Ghana cedis. This is what I want you to do. Project Kumasi. Do a documentary, bring it. Let me see if it passes what I want people to see in Kumasi. I'll sign it off and give you the money. So you shoot a documentary or presentation of Kumasi and say, Kumasi has that, Kumasi has that, Kumasi has that, Kumasi has that. Then we take it from there. Now the event itself, you have red carpet. Imagine, say,
but it will take Charter House to do some of these proposals. Or Mama move visa.
Maybe I cannot speak for that. But you see, the government is the government seeing the entertainment industry.
No. At this stage, after Ghana witnessed December in GH, from the year of return, destination Ghana, December in GH. Now, I want to believe government of Ghana, they have seen something in the creative arts industry. So identify some events and say that these are the events that we've identified. Let's invest. Did government not support the Black Star Line event?
That I can't tell because I wasn't part of
Taste of Ghana.
Taste of Ghana is a government event.
Exactly.
Okay, so Taste of Ghana is for GIPC. So GIPC as an entity is what is doing that.
Yeah.
So that is not a private entity who is doing it.
I get it.
The company that is doing it is a private entity, but it's a company policy and it's something that they do. So they open bid, companies bid for it. Whoever wins, they do it.
Okay.
You understand? So it is not private like Mimi event. Let's say if you Unim event I happen in Ghana. Ghana Music Awards, comedy this, comedy that. If you want to maybe boost the comedy sector, you can say, okay, Mr. Comedy, your mom 100,000 every year to boost your this thing. Make sure that you put 5 comedians from Ghana to be on the show. Maybe foreign acts should be 2. So with that, you give the local comedians a boost. But if you don't do that, those that I can bring from abroad that will make me get my money back is what I will bring. The local comedians, they are trying, but you see, ask them. It's not every time that they do their shows and all those things that they get their money back. But branding, they have to do it more and more to be able to get their fan base and also get the money that they deserve. The support, government mamiska, the support that I'll get from the private sector, now they are supporting me, because I am not doing that to make losses. I am doing that to get some small money. To also, I am an event organizer. Where do I get my money from? It's from small tickets and all those things. So that's how it goes.
This is beautiful. As it stands now, meaning say obi ever be event and shishino. I say, hey, come on, Nabil, so we may say, oh, so bit me. I'm up bobo figures be as I was sorry. Name first segment. If I want to do an event at say the conference center, National Theatre, Grand Arena, Stadium, budget being on top of your mind here.
I don't usually do that.
I know.
Yeah, but events beyond the kind of budget.
It's not the venues, you know. I want to use the venues.
But you see, I can't use the venue to give you a budget, because the type of event that you're doing will determine the kind of budget that you spend. The kind of artist that you're doing will also determine the kind of budget, your threshold that you're going to get. Let's say if I'm doing an event for a corporate institution, and I'll say me pe Sarkodie, me pe Stoneboy, me pe Kinata. Sarkodie will not charge me. Let's say, I'm just saying, if Sarkodie charges 200,000, Sarkodie will not charge the entity 200,000. I'll be charging 300,000 because I me. So what I say, Kinata will charge maybe 150,000 because I me. It's for the year. By the time you know, artists inquire 500,000 before you bring your logistics and all those things. So I cannot guesstimate and say Sammy event or National Theatre I cost to say
no, I'm talking about only the logistics though, not with artists.
No, you cannot say.
It is hard
to say.
Are you making profits in what you're doing?
If you talk about events, because apart from being an event organizer, we do logistics supply. If you come to logistics supply, yes,
you're making profit with logistics
supply. But when you come to events, nah. If I'm doing corporate, yes, corporate they say maybe stand charge being our friend say be end of year party na ma be ma Jimmy Shikana me call. But me and Amaka say okay, me too way me the shatawale to be we so na me the nkofo ka ho a ebe fa. And no, it's dicey because you are not too sure. So with that, organizing your own events and all those things, I would say it's me. I'm not speaking for anybody. It is not profitable for me. But doing events for corporate, logistics supply, do whatever you want to do, yes, it's profitable.
I see. So after today, you want to give us the assurance that no matter the magnitude of the event you want to do, logistics, everything we have in Ghana.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You don't have to take anything from abroad.
No. You see, we are growing. The things that we used to have 12, 15
years. Let me ask this. Global Citizens Festival.
Yeah.
Were you part of it?
No, I wasn't part of Global Citizen.
Yeah. That's set up too.
Yeah.
Did we use everything from that event in Ghana, or once again they brought it from abroad?
I would say I wasn't part, but I would say everything was from Ghana, because the stage and everything that you saw came for Afro Nation.
Okay.
So the deal was that, from what I heard, the deal was that Global Citizen will clear those things and they use it for Global Citizen. And when they finish, Afro Nation takes their stuff back. But as we speak, those things are in Ghana for Afro Nation. But who will see Ghana event now? You want to rent it? It's open for.
Oh, the Afro Nation.
Yeah, it's here. It's not going back. But also, it's the same.
No, I mean, what I mean is, if until someone goes to rent them.
Yeah, but it's the same equipment that they use for Whiskey.
Okay. Whiskey.
Yeah, one man. It's the same equipment that they use for Whiskey.
Oh, okay. So if you want it,
and you can pay, yes, they will come and set it up for you, and you use it. So it's equipment I work Ghana. So it's now part of the Ghanaian equipment list.
Okay. So before you leave us, what message do you want to leave for the industry as an event provider or as a? Your time as well.
Sure. There's one suggestion. I know we do with the kind of screens now projecting and the videos that I think you should more consider the services of Mr. Namo, the animators, to also create scenery. Be projector, it will fix the stage and all that. I think say nowadays like the kind of screen videos are more and abstract videos are more it doesn't normally fit the way saying the services of the animators now or more Chroma, some of them can give great say animation it will fit into
that. I agree. I agree with you because I have a video guy that is now working towards that, where when he's playing the backgrounds and all those things, he's trying to liaise with the animators and all those things to show the local content, like some colicos and all those which is more localized than the foreign stuff, So it is. We are growing. So as time goes on, the liaise with all the animators and all those things, so that when you are seeing things on the screen, you know that I did with me who and I say, you see some Dinkra symbols here.
Yeah. So I still needed that message you want to give to our industry as an event producer.
I would say that with the industry we have a lot to do. And there is more room for improvement, and we need a lot of support in terms of government, private sector, and all that. Because if, let's say, I get the support from government, from private sector, I do events, I get sponsorship and all those things, I'll be able to reinvest into my craft, buy the best of things that anybody comes to Ghana and they want, we can provide. So with the industry, I would say let's be a united front. Let's push and also make sure that we get the best of equipment and be able to match up to any event that is out there.
Now the last question is coming from Kosa Brown. Hope you know Kosa Brown.
Yeah, I know Kosa Brown.
He says I should ask you that. Good evening to you, Chairman. Chemo. Kosa Brown says I should ask you that between Ghana Music Awards and 3 Music Awards, whose event setup satisfies you?
Kosa has been biased.
No, Kosa is not being biased.
No.
He's asking a question.
Because he's on one of the boards.
No.
Wait, and
now he's not on the board. Now he's not on the board.
Put me in a very tight situation.
He's not on the board anymore.
Listen, I've been part of both events. Ghana Music Awards. I've worked with Charterhouse before.
I know.
I've been on the board before, and I've provided logistics for 3 Music also before. So for me to say this or that would be.
Oh no, but definitely one is in terms of stage setup, design, production. At least one is.
No. I reserve my. I reserve my comment.
All right, so because Nabil won't answer the question.
Tell him I'll call him and give him that.
Nabil, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll call you again for part 2 of this.
Yeah, sure, I'm available.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed the information delivered here, and everybody needs some of these details, especially those of us who are into events. We would want to do more, so when we get this kind of information, it helps us. And I want to say good evening to IBK here at Class Media Group. You say event being sure say a big event here at Class Media. And then what BB into the by prepare now. Yeah, fine.